Next, we're going to talk about the qualifications part of your grant proposal. And we're looking at page 42 and 43 in our grant proposal writing book. This element may seem like a small piece, but it is essential. You want your funder, the people who are sending money and awarding this grant to your organization, to see that the individuals who are performing these tasks for the project are capable and that your organization is capable of carrying this out. No funder wants to send money to people who are incompetent or haven't ever done anything like this before and don't know what they're doing. So, even if this is a new project for your organization, you want to show that you at least are capable of it, that your employees and the other people involved are very much qualified and capable to do this. You're going to focus on two different aspects in your qualification section. First of all, your history of your organization. This is where, when you're working on the projects for this class, you're going to need to do some research about the organizations you're working with. And again, you are asking the Gilbreth Literacy Foundation for money. You don't need to do any research on them other than what's the documents given to you for class. But let's say you're doing your project in coordination with the Boys and Girls Club or with Ancilla's Library or some other organization. I know in the on-campus class, some students are doing theirs having to do with certain schools. Any of these things, you can find information about the history. You can go ask them. Usually they have something on record in their own office, if not online, that gives a history of the organization, how long it's been around. You can ask them how many clients they serve, how many other grants they've gotten, other awards that they've won, how they contribute to the community, and how they network with other organizations. These are all things that are important to funders. They want to see that these people aren't just brand new organizations that don't know anybody, haven't ever done anything before, don't really have any track record. So find out about this information. Some of it you might just find in brochures that the organizations have. Some of it you are going to need to correspond with someone at the organization. Let them know what you're doing. Let them know what kind of a project you're working on, and see what ideas they have. And included in that, you'll want to find out more about the history of the organization. The second aspect your qualifications section is going to address is the individuals who will actually lead the project. And that, again, includes what their histories are, who these people are. Why are they qualified to be in charge of this literacy program? Or let's say that you've got somebody who's leading a program working with adult learners or with children, either one. You want somebody who has some qualifications, who has taught before, who has some education. So, figure out what the education degrees are, how long they've been working in this field, any other successes they've had, if they've published anything, if they've presented somewhere before. You want to have this information. With this particular project, if you can get information on specific people at an organization, great. If you need to do a little bit of research for that, again, that's part of your job. It may be that some of you will have organizations that you're working with where they, because they're not actually doing a project with this, they're not going to have someone that you can just copy down all their information. So you'd want to at least figure out, okay, the person who's leading this, does this person need a certain degree? And just come up with something and, let me know in the project this is not a real person, but come up with somebody and say, okay, they've been working in the field for this number of years, and here are some of the awards they've won, or other presentations they've done, or other teams that they've been on to lead these kinds of projects. The important thing for this project is that you understand the process and that you understand the importance of having qualified individuals to lead it. Let's move to the next slide. You can see there an outline for qualifications. And again, everything that we're talking about here, you can find. This is on page 43 of the book. And you can see there in the book, it goes through the letter G. Again, these are just some questions to help you actually know what information you need to put into this section. Um, One thing that I like about this outline that it talks about, both on letter B of the book, and then this is the second item on the slide, how is the mission consistent with the proposed project? In other words, the mission of the organization, how is their mission consistent with the project that you're talking about for this grant? And of course, as much as you can tie that in with the Gilbreth Literacy Foundation, um, our fake organization, our fake funding source here, the more you can tie that in with what they view as important, the better. You also want to think if your uh, project is going to need a contractor to come in, maybe there's some kind of building having to be done or some special training. Again, what are the qualifications of those people? What makes them competent in this field that you can tell your funding source? This is the end of the qualifications section. Hopefully it makes pretty good sense. It's pretty straightforward. As always, if you have questions, you can talk to me.